Week 10 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitches I looked at off the wire this week. First pitch is Ben Lively of the Cleveland Guardians. So Ben Lively's got an opportunity with the Cleveland Guardians this season, and he's made the most of it. And right now, he's been one of the better pitchers in fantasy baseball over the last few weeks. Available in 56% of leagues. Obviously, this is most likely fantasy owners the last chance to go out there and get him. And he's won 4 games in a row and pitching real well on the year. 50 2/3, 5-2 record. 47 Ks at 2.84 ERA, a 1.16 whip, and 3 quality starts. And over the last couple weeks, 3-0 record, 16 Ks at 2.45 ERA, 0.98 whip, and 18 1/3. So Lively's keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's never been a high strikeout guy. Last season, he got off to a nice start with the Reds and then fizzled out. And that definitely could happen once again here for Lively. But right now, there's no more ignoring that he could be a pitcher that helps fantasy owners, especially nowadays where you don't find a lot of consistent players or even decent pitchers on the wire. May 20th versus the Mets, 5 2/3 got the win. 6 hits, a run, 7 Ks. May 26th at the Angels, 7 innings got the win. 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks, a quality start. And June 1st versus the Nats, 5 2/3 in that one got the win. 5 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 4 Ks. Lively pitching good baseball for this Guardian team. Best pitchers over the last few weeks in fantasy. He's definitely in there this week. Next pitcher, Robert Gasser, the Milwaukee Brewers. So Robert Gasser, he's been on this list a few weeks now and still available in a decent amount of fantasy leagues at 65%. So on the season for Gasser, in a small sample size, 28 innings, 2-0 record, 16 Ks at 2.57 ERA, a 1.04 whip, and 2 quality starts. So he definitely will stay in this rotation with many injuries right now over there in Milwaukee. And Gasser, like I said, a young lefty who's going out there making the most of his opportunity. I don't know if it's going to keep up because his minor league numbers weren't all that great. In the last game, he did give up 2 home runs in that one. But right now, while Gasser's been respectable and a solid pitcher since he's been called up over the last month, he's a guy definitely to hit on the wire this week, May 21st at the Marlins, 6 innings in that one, 10 hits, 4 runs. May 21st versus the Cubs, 6 innings, no decision, 3 hits, no runs, 7 Ks, a quality start. And June 1st versus the White Sox, 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, no decision, 3 Ks. So Gasser, the last 3 outings, he's come back down to earth a little bit. But he's always going out there, giving his team a chance to win, and that's all you could ask nowadays with a lot of bad 4th and 5th starters around the league where it's tough to find good starting pitching, especially in the deeper leagues. So right now, while Gasser's been good, and he's not going to lose a spot in the rotation. Like I said, with injuries to DL Hall, where he's had a setback, Joe Ross is hurt, and Wade Miley out for the season with Tommy John surgery. So right now, Gasser, definitely a lock to stay in the rotation. Next pitcher, Ryan Weathers of the Miami Marlins. So Weathers surprisingly still out there in tons of fantasy leagues, and he's been a solid pitcher. I know he's on a bad Marlin team and in a tough division with 2 powerhouse offenses like the Phillies and the Atlanta Braves, but he's going out there and he's been impressive, especially the last month of the year. On the year, 68 2/3, 3-5 record, 64 Ks, a 3.41 ERA, a 1.12 whip, and 6 quality starts. But the last couple weeks here for Weathers, 1-1 record, 19 innings, 26 Ks, a 2.37 ERA, a 1 whip, and 2 quality starts. So this Padre team, they were probably hoping now they could have kept on to Weathers, where they pretty much gave him up for nothing to deal with their injuries in the rotation. Yu Darvish and obviously Joe Musgrove. So Weathers is going out there. His strikeout rate over the last 3 games has been one of the better strikeout rates and totals we've seen over the last 3 outings for any pitcher in the league, where he's mowing teams down. The last 3 outings is Weathers. 26 strikeouts in the time. May 20th versus the Brewers, 7 innings, no decision. 2 hits, a run, 3 walks, 8 Ks, a quality start. May 26th at the Diamondbacks, 6 innings, got the win. 4 hits, no runs, a walk, 7 Ks, a quality start. And June 1st versus a good Texas lineup, 6 innings, got the loss, 9 hits, 4 runs, 11 Ks. So like I said, the strikeout rate the last 3 outings has been way up there. He's given his team a chance to win more outings than not, is Weathers. And if it's one knock on him, it's going to be that, where he's not going to get a lot of opportunities to win. Because like I said, this Marlin team, one of the worst offenses in all the league. But Weathers, he's been a guy who's a 4 or 5 inning pitcher. But now as the season has gone on, he's stretched out. And we've seen him go 7, 8 innings at times as well. So right now, well, he's surprisingly still out there in tons of leagues. Definitely an ad this week is Weathers. The next pitcher is staying in the National League East, Trevor Williams of the Washington Nationals. So Trevor Williams, what a turnaround it's been for him, and this is most likely the last chance for fantasy owners to go out there and get him. Available in 55% of leagues. On the year, 56 and 2/3, 5-0 record, 47 Ks, a 2.22 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, and a quality start. And over the last couple weeks, 1-0 record, 15 Ks, 15 innings pitched as well, 3 ERA, 1.13 WHIPs. At Trevor Williams last season, he was batting practice with a 6-10 record with a 5.55 ERA, giving up over 30 home runs, but this year he's kept the ball in the park. He's kept the ball on the ground as well. And he's been a guy, especially in points leagues, where he's paid off even more than category leagues. The only knock on Trevor Williams is he don't go deep into games, and he's not really going to get quality starts, and his wins could be limited as well. But everything else, he's been pretty solid. May 19th at the Phillies, 4 1/3, no decision. 5 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 3 Ks. May 25th versus the Mariners, 5 innings, no decision. 5 hits, a run, 8 Ks. And May 30th at the Braves, 5 2/3, got the win. 4 hits, a run, 2 walks, 4 Ks. So for the most part, Trevor Williams, he's a 5 or 6 inning pitcher. At best, you're going to get from him. But hey, he's going out there and he's making the most of his chances. After last season was a down year, but this year turning things around, and he's really helped this Washington national team. Is the middle rotation type of pitcher. His next outing is tomorrow versus the New York Mets, his former team, where he was good in middle relief for them a few years ago. And we'll see if he could pitch well versus them. But like I said, Trevor Williams, he's been a guy, 5 innings. He's been great, but that third time around the lineup has done him in throughout his career. And that's why, as well, I think this national team, 5, 6 innings at most, they give Trevor Williams the ball for. But it's been working, and he's definitely someone that can help fantasy owners. Next pitcher is Zach Littell of the Tampa Bay Rays. So Littell's been on this list a whole lot the first 10 weeks of the season, and right now still surprisingly available in 59% of leagues. So Littell on the year, 68 1/3, 2-3 record, 66 strikeouts, a 3.57 ERA, 1.25 WHIP, and 5 quality starts on the season. So Littell, he's going out there, he's pitching good baseball for this Tampa Bay Ray team. I know in yesterday's outing it wasn't all that great. He gave up 11 hits in that one, but he's still a guy that's an innings eater, and he gives this Ray team a chance pretty much every 5th day to win a ball game. And he does pitch in a tough division, obviously, in the AL East with the New York Yankees, powerhouse team. Boston Red Sox still can hit the baseball pretty well. Baltimore, obviously, a monster team as well this season. So some tough teams in that division. But Littell's pitching good baseball after he got an opportunity towards the end of last year. 10th of rotation. May 21st versus Boston, 5 2/3, no decision. 3 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 7 Ks. May 28th versus Oakland, 7 innings, got the loss. 5 hits, no runs, a walk, 9 Ks, a quality start. And June 2nd in Baltimore, 6 innings, no decision. 11 hits, like I mentioned, 3 runs, a walk, 2 Ks. So the only thing with Littell is strikeout rate's going to be all over the place for the most part. But he's still a pitcher that he gets some easy outs at times, and that's why he goes deep into games, 6, 7 innings. So, like I said, very surprising. He's still out there in over 50% of leagues at 59%, and someone who help fantasy owners immediately. I know they're getting some guys back, possibly. Jeffrey Springs, he's starting to pitch some rehab games. Shane Bass, he's down there still working out the kinks in AAA. But I think Littell, for this season at least, or at least the majority of the year, is going to have a spot in this rotation and be fine for this Ray team and fantasy owners. The next pitcher is Michael Lorenzen of the Texas Rangers. So Michael Lorenzen, he's been a pretty decent starter this year, and even over the last couple of years where he's been serviceable for fantasy owners. On the year, 54 2/3, 3-3 record, 44 Ks, 2.96 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, and 6 quality starts. And over the last couple of weeks, one of the better ERA pitchers in the league. And surprisingly, he's out there in 81% of leagues as well, 18 2/3 in the time, 1-1 record, 17 Ks, 1.45 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, and 3 quality starts. So Lorenzen, he just goes out there and he gets the job done. He's Mike Lorenzen, and he's definitely found a home with this Texas Ranger team so far in the early going. Even though I know he signed late towards the beginning of the season, was Lorenzen. But like I said, with all these injuries in this rotation, he should be fine as well as Lorenzen for the remainder of the year with this Texas Ranger ball club. May 19th versus the Angels, 6 1/3, got the loss. 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 6 Ks, a quality start. May 25th, the Twins, 6 innings. Tough no decision in that one. 3 hits, a run, 3 walks, 4 Ks. And June 1st at the Marlins, 6 1/3, got the win. 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks, a quality start. So Michael Lorenzen pitching good baseball for this Texas Ranger team. I know they got a bunch of injuries. Cody Bradford hurt. Jacob deGrom obviously went on the Tommy John last year, possibly returning at the end of the year, even though I doubt it. Max Scherzer trying to make his way back. But Lorenzen, he's been a good starting pitcher for this team, and it'll be a mistake, in my opinion, to pull him from this rotation if a few of these starters come back. But anyway, right, he's pitching well. And definitely a good ad this week. The next pitcher is Spencer Arrighetti of the Houston Astros. So Arrighetti, he's got a spot in this rotation as well with Christian Javier on the injured list once again. I know Luis Garcia, he's starting to ramp up a little bit. He could return. JP France, he got sent down to the minor leagues a few weeks ago. And Arrighetti, I know on the surface the numbers don't look good, but the last couple weeks he's turned it around. Is the top pitching prospect on the year. 43 2/3, 3-5 record, 51 Ks, 5.98 ERA, 1.65 WHIP, and a quality start. But the last 2 weeks, like I mentioned, 17 1/3, 2-1 record, 21 Ks, a 3.63 ERA, a 1.27 WHIP, and a quality start. So this Astro team, they're trying to get things going now over the last few weeks. And Arrighetti, like I mentioned, he's starting to go out there and pitch pretty decent for this Houston Astro team over the last 2 weeks, and maybe you could catch lightning in a bottle with him. Like I said, some growing pains, but he's got a spot in the rotation with guys getting sent down with struggles and injuries. He's going to have a spot at least for a few more weeks. May 19th versus the Brewers, 6 1/3, got the win. 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks. May 25th at the A's, 5 innings, got the loss. 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 7 Ks. And May 30th, the Mariners, his best outing of his career, 6 innings, got the win. 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks, a quality starts. His next outing's tomorrow versus the Cardinals, where they've been an up-and-down team this year, even though right now they're hitting the baseball pretty well, is St. Louis. But I think he can help fantasy owners, is Arrighetti. In the last 3 outings, he's been very serviceable, and maybe a guy starting to find his way now in the major leagues. Available in 95% of fantasy leagues. And pitcher Albert Suarez of the Baltimore Orioles. I believe Suarez, he's going to have a rotation spot for a while now, with obviously John Means out for the season, unfortunately, once again going down with injury, and also Dean Kramer out for the year. So Suarez, he's locked in that 5th spot, even though I know they got some guys in the minors, Pavic and McDermott as well, who could come up and make an impact for this whole team. But Suarez is the first crack, and so far he's been pitching good baseball for this Baltimore Oriole team. Available right now in 83% of fantasy leagues. So on the year, 34 1/3, 2-0 record, 29 Ks, 1.57 ERA, and 0.99 WHIP. But the last couple weeks since he's been back in the majors, 10 2/3, 0-0 record, 9 Ks, and 0.84 ERA, 1.13 WHIP. So Suarez, he's bounced around a lot, independent leagues, obviously in minor leagues, but he's found his way now with this Baltimore Oriole team, a team that's going to give him some offense support, and he just has to stretch the arm out a little bit. And I think he's going to do that as well. So the last couple outings, May 25th at the White Sox, 4 innings, no decision, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks. And then May 31st versus the Rays, 5 innings in that one, no decision, 4 hits, a run, 2 walks, 5 Ks. So right now, Suarez, he's not going to go that deep into ball games where he's a 5-6 inning pitcher at best. I think Baltimore is going to give them, but he's pitching to a low ERA. He's a guy that's hungry, and he wants to stay in the major leagues. And like I said, with youngsters like McDermott and Pavic possibly around the corner, Suarez now has a real opportunity to try to stay in the rotation with the injuries to Means and Creamer for the season. So right now, Suarez is out there in tons of leagues at 83%. He's a pitcher I would give an ad this week. The next pitcher, Matt Waldron of the San Diego Padres. So Waldron, he's turned it around over the last few outings, and he's a 2-start starter this week as well. And now with the Padres dealing with a lot of injuries in the rotation, Yu Darvish and now Joe Musgrove went on the injured list. He's going to stay in the rotation as well for a minimum, at least a month or 2, I believe, is Waldron, unless he really turns around and goes the other way and struggles. On the year, 57 innings, 3-5 record, 60 Ks, 4.26 ERA, 1.37 WHIP, and 2 quality starts. But over the last couple weeks, 12 innings, 1-0 record, 15 Ks, a 1.50 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, and a quality start. So Waldron available in 84% of fantasy leagues. He's on a team that supports him well offensively, is the San Diego Padre team. And like I said, Waldron's starting to get it going. And now with Darvish and Musgrove out, he's got a spot in this rotation at least a month or 2. May 17th at the Braves, 5 2/3 got the win. 5 hits, a run, 2 walks in that one, 10 Ks. May 23rd at the Reds, 5 innings, no decision, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks in that one. And May 28th versus the Marlins, one of the best outings of his career. 7 innings at the win, 6 hits, no runs, 8 Ks, a quality start. So Waldron's strikeout rate over the last 3 outings, very solid, and it's gone up big time, 25 Ks in that time. So his next outings here today at the Angels. We know the Angels, one of the worst teams in all Major League Baseball, especially Mike Trout injured and possibly out for the season now. I think he could take advantage of that. And like I said, he gets pretty decent run support as well from the San Diego Padre team. So with the injuries in the rotation and with Waldron pitching well and his K rate going up over the last few outings, I think he's an under-the-radar type of ad this week. And the final pitcher I looked at off the wire is Cody Petit of the New York Yankees. So Clark Schmidt out 4 to 6 weeks with injury, and now Petit's going to step in to the rotation until Garrett Cole returns. But now Cole going on rehab assignments where he could be back in 2-3 weeks, I believe, is Garrett Cole. But right now in the short term, I think Cody Petit, Cal fantasy owners, obviously with one of the best offenses in the league backing him, and one of the best teams in the league as well. On the year, 11 innings, 2-0 record, 10 Ks at 2.45 ERA, 0.91 whip, and a quality start to Petit this season. He's pretty much been a middle reliever when he was up in the major leagues, and then got one start a couple days ago for this New York Yankee team. So Petit, his first start of the year at the Giants, filling in 5 innings, got the win, 3 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 6 Ks. So Petit, like I said, he's going to get run support. He's just going to be a pitcher that they need to go 5 or 6 innings as this Yankee team. Obviously, they got a good rotation this year in the early going so far with Carlos Rodon. He's pitched pretty decent. Marcus Stroman's been surprising. Luis Gil, he's been great. And Hector Cortez, he's still going out there and being decent. So right now, Petit's going to be a stopgap to Garrett Cole returns. And if you need a spot starter over the next couple weeks until Cole returns, if there's no setbacks or anything, I think Petit could be serviceable as a back-end rotation pitcher for fantasy owners. And that's a few pitches I looked at off the wire for Week 10 of the fantasy baseball season.